Hi everyone, welcome to our View special. And in this video, we'll be talking about installation, template, reactivity, computed, class installs bindings, conditional rendering, list rendering, event handling, form input bindings, lifecycle hooks, watchers, and components. So let's begin with installation or create a Vue application. So you can create a Vue application by using npm create Vue at latest to create your project, and you can start your dev server with cd to your project name, npm install, and npm run dev. And when you plan to ship your application, use npm run build. And alternatively, you can use a CDN. So you can just follow the instructions here in the documentation. Now let's discuss about templates. So let me just run our server c2 tutorial npm run dev, and there we go. Let's access localhost 5173. Okay, now we're in template. So let's view our folders in vue.config. So here we have package.json, where we have our dev dependencies and dependencies, and we also have our tsconfig.json, and we also have our git ignore, our index.html, and we have our public folder, and we have our src. And inside your src folder, you have your main.ts, which is the entry point, as seen here in index.html. And here we have our app.view. And as you can see in app.view, that is our main access point. Okay? So here in our main access point, we have here our script and template. Okay, so as you can see here, we've imported the router link. Router, to be specific, Vue imported this for us. And here, this was from the original import from Vue. We have the hello world. Okay, so this is just the routers. So we'll discuss that. Okay, let's discuss that now. Okay, so here we have our asset folder, component folder, router folder, and view folder. So here in our router folder, as you can see, we have here our different views. So we've imported them. Then here we have our router, and we create a router, and that's from view router. And we have your history. And we have here our routes, which have three major components, which is the path, the name, and the component. So the path here is, we have your forward slash, so that would be the home. We have forward slash template, that would be the template. And we name it, and we give it the component. And there are two types. We can use the component by using its name, or we use an arrow function in order to import the component. Okay? And inside our views, so our router helps us route our application to specific views. And the views simply contain the details of our pages. Okay? And components here are simply building blocks. Okay? They are just simply, for example, this can be a component, this is a component. Okay? These can be components. Okay, and assets here contain the like CSS, SVG files, image files that we can use. Okay? So now that we've covered the general structure of our project, we can now finally discuss template. Okay, so as you can see here in template, we have in template view.view, we have here our template section and script section. Okay? And on some cases, we have, let me look for, okay, sige. You can also add here style scope. And the purpose of adding scope is the CSS, the particular CSS that we'll be adding will be scoped in this view only. And you can also use it in components where you can scope the styles that you'll be using. Okay? But here we're not gonna use that since we have no need for it. Okay, so let's discuss template. So here in templates, we are able to use here message. So as you can see, we have the world continuously revolves, and when we change, the world continuously stands still. It updates. Okay, and as we can see here, we also have, apart from the value, we also have template for HTML, and we can use that by setting a tag and using VHTML. And here we have, for example, string, p tag, m tag. Please believe me. As you can see, we've created a paragraph and we've used emphasis. And that's the power of VHTML. However, there is a warning. Dynamically rendering arbitrary HTML in your website can be very dangerous because it can lead to XSS or cross-site scripting vulnerabilities. Only use VHTML on trusted content and never on user-provided content. Okay? Next, now we can also use our variables or templates inside attributes. For example, here we have disabled. So here this is simply vbind. Okay? But let's just use the shortcut version, which is just colon. And is button disabled is equal to true. So this is disabled. However, when we set it to false, we can now use the button. Okay? And we can also use, inside our templates, we can also have computations. Okay? So computations like 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. So is button disabled? We have here true. So is button disabled? We have true. So we have here yes. And we also bind ID equals header, where we set header to template header. So when we check in our console, we check template page, ID is equal to template header. Splendid. Now we've discussed about template, let's go and proceed to reactivity. Okay? So let's access reactivity view.view. Okay, now we're in the reactivity section. And before I proceed, everything that I'm teaching you right now is inside the Vue docs. And if you plan to master Vue, it's always good to read the full documentation. Okay. So here, let's test. Example, we have here adding 1, we can add 2, and we have here show the real John Krasinski. Now that we have an idea of what our page is doing, we can now view the code. So let's view our template page. Okay? So we have here, this is the reactivity page, and we have here you that need to use that value when accessing inside template. And we have here counter, and we have here p button and at click. So I assume you've already went through my JavaScript series, so you know what events are. And here we at click, we're just using at, then what is the name of the event? Click, and we use counter plus plus. Okay, so here +1 since counter plus plus. And we have our second button, which is add 2. And whenever we click, we're using increment by 2. So let's view what increment by 2 is doing. Okay, so as you can see here, we import ref and ref, which we'll discuss later. So here we have increment by 2. So counter that value plus equals 2. And there we have it. It is working. And here we have John Krasinski, where John Krasinski, as you can see here, has a first name and a last name. So when we click the button, we can update John Krasinski into the real John Krasinski, which is Randall Park. But how are we doing this? This seems like standard JavaScript. Why create a section for it? And this is the part where we'll discuss ref and reactive. So here, when we use a ref in the template and change the ref values later, Vue automatically detects the change and updates the DOM accordingly. So what happens when we remove ref? Okay, when we remove ref, and so as you can see, it is already causing problems. Why? Because counter is constant. So ref allows us to fix this problem. Okay? So you may point out that, you may use let or var to fix this. However, Vue will not be able to detect the change and update the DOM accordingly. So it's best to use ref instead. And now let's introduce reactive. So for ref, it changes the whole value, but for reactive, we're making the object itself reactive. Okay? Now, this is important. The actual object is not the same with the reactive, the object created by reactive. Okay? So how do we use that? So we use this by creating reactive and putting the object inside the reactive function. Okay? And I just want to point out that it's best to use TypeScript when using objects. So as you can see here, we've used interface. But depending on your preference, you can also use type. Splendid. Now we've discussed about reactivity. Let's now discuss computed. Okay? So here we have, does John Doe has published books? We have yes, and I assume this is 3. So probably 3 books. And we remove all published books. It becomes no and 0. So let's view the computed view. Okay. So as you can see here, we have author.name. So we have has published books. And we have author books.length. And remove books. So let's read everything. So we imported reactive, computed, and reactive with a capital R from Vue. And we've created an interface author where name is string and books is an array of strings. And we have here author, then we've reactive with the type author. And we've entered some values like name, and we have here books. And this is the part where we discuss computed. Okay? So computed allows us to make complex computations where we have easy access and control. So we can put this value inside our template. However, that makes our code messy and provide us with less control. So instead, we can use computed to solve this problem. As you can see here, when authors books.length is greater than 0, when the value is true, we return yes, and if the value is false, we return no. Okay? And remove book simply empties the array by assigning an empty array. Okay? So as you can see here, originally we have 3 books, so that's greater than 0. And when it is 0, it automatically computes the value for us. Okay? And here is the best practice when using computed. Getters should be side effect free. So, what does side effect mean? Side effect means there should not be any mutations happening inside computed. We should only be getting values. Okay? And we should avoid mutating computed value. So, when we need to mutate a value, we access the original value and not the computed value. How are we doing that? For example, instead of modifying has published books, we modified author.books instead, which has published books used as a reference. Okay? Now we've discussed computed, let's discuss bindings. And we have here class and style bindings. So let's access bindings view. Okay? So this seems a lot, and as you can see here, we have style scope. We've discussed about this already, so I'll be skipping that part. Okay, so this time, let's view our script first. Okay, so here we have is active, ref, boolean true, has error, and error. Okay, and we also have here our class object computed, where active is active that value and not error that value. So they should be both be true in order for active to be true. And we also have here text danger. Okay, we also have here text danger where error that value and error that value is equal to fatal. Okay, so here we have this is a binding page. Then div class static class active is active. So when we have here active, text decoration underline, and text danger, where the text becomes red. And the referencing is active and has error. So it's changing, only you can change the world. Currently, it has an underline. But when we turn the value to false, active is removed and the underline is removed. And has error when false, the red text is removed. Okay? So next we have here div class object. So is active value, error value. Okay? So similar to our code in line 4, class object depends on the name of the class and the corresponding truth value. So in this situation, has error is false and active is true. So only active is applied here. And we can validate that by checking div. Here we have active. Text danger is not present. Okay, now let's proceed with binding to arrays. So we have here active class and success class. So what are active class and success class? So active class is simply active and success class is simply text success. So as you can see here, we have our active class and success class. So just in case, you can also use cons are classes. Then we're going to use ref array string ref active text success okay. Then we can replace this with our classes and have similar output. Okay, so let me just push that in our repository. So I'll just do that later. Okay, so next is we have, so let me just return this. We have div class, active class, then success class. Just end it and just apply the linter. So next we have here is style bindings. As you can see here, we have the value for active color and the value for font size. So we're able to use style bindings by using the binding operator, colon. Then we have here the name of our style, property. And as you can see here, instead of font dash size, we're using capital S. Okay? So for example, we're using padding left instead of padding dash left. We're going to use padding left with a capital L. And we simply set the value. Okay? The property value. Splendid. Now that has been bindings, let's discuss conditional rendering. Okay? So, conditional rendering is easy to understand because we already, assuming that you've already watched my JavaScript series, you're already familiar with if, else if, and else. And as you can see here in conditional, we're simply using the if, the else, the if, the else if, and the else. Okay? So as you can see here, we have has purchase. So when has purchase is false, it goes to how I thought. But when has purchase is true, it displays if it isn't a regular. And you can view it here. So we make a purchase, the value is true, so it displays the corresponding value whenever has purchase is true. Okay, as now we have here answer. So you're familiar with this operator that we discussed in TypeScript. So it can be a value from our in a multiple choice or a null value. So here, when answer is null, it tells us your answer hotshot. And when the answer is A, I guess you're all talk. When the answer is B, well, I guess my instincts were right. And when the answer is C, someone needs to return to cram school. So the value currently is null, the value currently is A, the value currently is B, the value currently is C, and now we can reset the value as well. So that has been conditional. Now let's discuss lists. Okay, so let's view list view. So let's view our script first. So as you can see, we have here books for sale. Okay. So here in books for sale, we have 4 books. Okay? And we also have books for sale detailed. Now let's view our code. We have here, welcome to our shop. Welcome to our shop. Then below are the books for sale. And we introduce our directive v-4. And we have here, so this is, for example, this is just like for book in books or for book of books. Okay? So we have here in books for sale. And it's important to use key. That's why we have index. And we simply display the book. And there we have it. So what if we want to use an object? We can also do that as well. We do that by using template. You don't have to use template, but I want to introduce using the v-for directive inside template. As you can see, book index is still used, and we're now using book for sale detailed. And here, we can use book.title, book.author. Okay, so here's the title, and here's the author, and so on and so forth. And now we also have here v-for instead of arrays, we're using a range. So range is 10. So we're simply counting from 1 to 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we've added a VF directive where num is less than 10, we add an ellipsis and a space. Okay, so that has been list rendering. So now let's discuss event. Okay, so here in the previous lessons, you already saw how we use click. There are multiple use cases for event, so let's read the documentation instead. So as you can see here, we have multiple events. So we have your say hello, say bye when click happens. We can also have event modifiers where you stop, prevent, self-capture once passive. So usually you'll be using prevent. So submit the prevent to prevent submit using its default. Here, event will no longer reload the page. Okay, then we also have here our key modifiers like key up, key page down, and the common key aliases, common system modifier keys, and mouse button modifiers left, right, and middle. So you already went through events in my JavaScript series, so you are most likely familiar with how to use events. Okay? So just in case you're still unfamiliar, I highly recommend you to watch my JavaScript series. Okay? So now let's discuss input. Okay? So here, let's view hello. Then we have here R. So this is our input box and this is a text area. Okay, so here, then we just added submit. So as you can see here, the values inside our text box are reactive. So how are we doing that? Let's view the code. So we're able to do that by using vModel. So vModel, then that trim. So that trim is an added attribute that you can add, that you can include in order to trim the values from left to right. Okay, and inside vModel, you put the corresponding variable. And in this case, we have name and message. And as you've seen in our previous video, we have click that prevent. Okay, so there are multiple use cases for form input. You can just simply read them here. In our documentation, we have checkbox, radio, select, value bindings, and modifiers. And we've used that too. Okay, now let's discuss our lifecycle hooks. So here in our lifecycle hooks, this is the lifecycle for view components or view pages. So at first, it's rendered and set up is access, and it enters the before create cycle, before create state, and it now goes to the created state, and it goes to the before mount state, and now it is mounted. So when data changes, it enters the before update state, and when it updates, it goes to the updated state, and when it's going to be unmounted, it enters the before unmounted state and the unmounted state. So we have here life cycle, there we go. We've used the unmounted life cycle. So as you can see here, after 3 seconds, we can now view now we're mounted. So let's check that. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're mounted. Okay? So you can view the other lifecycle hooks apart from unmounted in this documentation. Okay? Onward to watchers. Okay, so as you can see here, we can ask a yes or no question. So, are you awesome? So, it is not the watcher. The question is not yet being triggered, but when you use a question mark, it's thinking no. So let's say, are you human? Let's say, are you human? No. Are you a robot? Are you a robot? No. Okay? So how are we doing this? So watchers are useful whenever you want to watch a value being changed. Watch a variable where the value changes. So as you can see here, we're able to do that by using the watch function. So here we enter the variable and we use async the new question or new value than old question or the old value. So whenever the value changes, we can commit actions here. Okay? So that is watch. And lastly, component. So this is the crucial concept when using view, react, or angular components. So as you've seen, we have three parts in this lesson: props, events, and slots. However, for slots, I recommend you to read the documentation. We'll be discussing props and events only in this video. Okay? So let's go to component view. Here in component view, as you can see, we've import greet. So the greet component, we've created that inside our component. So when using view, we start with the script first. Okay? And we can import a prop. So we import prop by using define props. And following this format, the name of the prop and the corresponding value of the prop. And we can also use define emit to create emits. So what are emits? So we'll also add here advanced component lessons that you can read. But let's view here emits. So emit. Okay. Let's look for the simpler version. Guide, component basics. Okay. So as you can see here, we can root, we can have header, main, article, aside, yada yada yada. So here, when passing props, as you've seen here, let's view component view. So here we have grid, and we want it to be dynamic, like hello name. So how do we make that? We use that by using a prop. So this is a prop. The prop is name. So whenever we've entered job, John, hello, we see that the value changes. Okay? And here whenever define emit, let's say emit care package, especially for you. So we emit the event care package. So at care package, when the event emits, we can use update message. Okay, this is crucial. Instead of using a regular function, update message, we do not use this. Why? Instead, we use a variable to define the function. And the reason for this is we can pass on the value from the event, which is message. So here, let's say message string, and we can overwrite the value. And with that, it's possible to change should always be a part of me to especially for you. And you can also, here in event, you can also just read about slots here. And you can just simply you can just simply read more in the advanced component lessons as well. Okay? So that has been view. So good luck and thank you for listening. In the next video, we'll be discussing about Knox.